No. Because his religion, nominal Christianity, pseudo-Christianity as it is, takes works. He reads it in the scriptures, prison house, bondage to sin, in this one, and then he attributes it to us. Because he's not a living soul, you see. He doesn't understand that we never understood that we were in bondage to sin. And that we were set free. All we know, we were free. And then time passes as we come to read and understand the scriptures, what it means to be free. It's free from bondage to sin, Mr. Spurgeon. And we're not keeping ourselves out of the prison house of sin, which you say we are. But we are out.
Of carnal ritualism. They accept gladly the truth that pious words of prayer or praise are vanity unless the heart has living worship within it. In the great truth of spiritual worship, believers possess a Magna Carta, dear as life itself.
Oh, we sounded up with
We
John.
refuse to be again subject to the yoke of bondage.
Hey, we refuse to be subject to... That's what I mean. Rubbish. What a load of tosh. We are new creatures in Christ Jesus. We're in a different kingdom. You're still in your kingdom, Mr. Spurgeon. Alright? You're still in your pernicious kingdom.
Life itself.
Right?
We refuse to be again subject to the yoke of bondage and cleave to our emancipating King.
That's nominal Christianity.
Our Lord taught also that all false living was base and loathsome. He poured contempt on the phylacteries of hypocrites,
Well, that's
the
you.
broad borders of the garments of oppressors of the poor.
That's you.
With him, ostentatious alms, long prayers,
That's you.
frequent fasts, and the tithe of mint and cumin
Don't know about
were all
fasts.
nothing when practiced by those who devoured widows' houses. He cared nothing for whitewashed sepulchres and platters without sides made clean.
So you mean that he didn't try to win them with the truth now? You'd better look back on your pagan sermon. Because you've just done everything again. Yay, yucky thump.
He judged the thoughts and intents of the heart.
Hey.
What woes were those which he denounced upon the formalists of his day?
No, really?
Must have been a grand sight to have seen the lowly Jesus roused to indignation,
Really?
thundering forth peal on peal his denunciations of hypocrisy.
Really? But you told us before, he was winning people for the truth. He went about trying to win people for the truth.
Elias never called fire from heaven one half so grandly. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, is the loudest roll of heaven's artillery. See how, like another Samson, Jesus slays the shams of his age, piles them heaps upon heaps to rot forever. Shall not he who teaches us true living be king of all the sons of truth? Let us even now salute him
He's at it
as
again.
Lord and King.
Restricting the kingdom of Jesus Christ to his believers.
Besides, beloved, our Lord came not only to teach us the truth,
Really?
but a mysterious power goes forth from him.
He didn't come to teach us the truth. He came to seal up our salvation, Mr. Spurgeon.
Through that Spirit which rests on him without measure, which subdues chosen hearts to truthfulness and then guides truthful hearts into fullness of peace and joy. Have you never felt when you have been with Jesus that a sense of his purity has made you yearn to be purged of all hypocrisy and every false way?
Being with Jesus. 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 Neo-evangelicalism. Jesus. It's very few times that the scriptures will say Jesus. Very few, and in the context. But these buggers strip Jesus Christ, the Lord, of his lordship and his anointing. All the time.
Have you not been ashamed of yourself when you have come forth from hearing his word, from watching his life, and above all from enjoying his fellowship, quite ashamed that you have not been more real, more sincere, more true, more upright, and so a more loyal subject of the truthful King? I know you have. Nothing about Jesus is false.
Right, we'll end it there. There's one thing we should always seek to remember, all of us. With the hypocrite, one of the chiefest overriding principles is that they believe themselves to be sitting in the chiefest of the seats. And hence, when they speak to us, it's away from themselves, down to us. Listen to what this man says, as an example. He's speaking down to us. He's not including himself. He never does. And the neo-evangelical goats, the hypocrites that they are, always do this. They always speak in a way because they believe themselves, again, to be the top men. The infallible ones, the perfect ones.
See how, like another Samson, Jesus slays the shams of his age, piles them heaps upon heaps to rot forever. Shall not he who teaches us true living be king of all the sons of truth? Let us even now salute him as Lord and King. Besides, beloved,
here we come.
Our Lord came not only to teach us the truth, but a mysterious power goes forth from him through that Spirit which rests on him without measure, which subdues chosen hearts to truthfulness and then guides truthful hearts into fullness of peace and joy.
Just as a point there. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. That's, again, another spirit that he's of. The spirit of mystery. The mystical spirit of the times.
Have you never felt when you have been with Jesus
Yeah.
that a sense of his purity has made you yearn to be purged of all hypocrisy and every false way? Have you not been ashamed of yourself when you have come forth from hearing his word, from watching his life, and above all from enjoying his fellowship, quite ashamed that you have not been more real, more sincere, more true, more upright, and so a more loyal subject of the truthful King? I know you have. Nothing about Jesus is false.
I know you have. This is supposed to be a shepherd of the sheep. The shepherd of the sheep doesn't denounce the sheep. He tends to the flock. Without the sheep, the shepherd wouldn't exist. Would he? Jesus Christ does not speak down to us. He does not speak aloof to us. Neo-evangelicalism does. There's not one speck of sin or error in neo-evangelicals. They're always speaking down. You. Not us. Because they're not in the family of faith. Oh yes, some have become worldly wise, so to speak, and will say, oh, brethren this, brethren that. They don't mean it, it's just a form with them. But 99.9% of all neo-evangelicals are standing there, looking down at you from my position. And I'm telling you, and you, and you, you. There's nothing personal. There's nothing personal about it. There's nothing of the household of faith. And these monsters obtain great names. Oh, that are worshipped, and they say to these so-called Protestants, you're worshipping. No, we're not worshipping. You're worse than Papists. Yeah, you don't admit it. In your heart, you're worshipping them. If I denounce these buggers for what they are, you'll have a go at me because they become your idols. You want to protect your idol. You don't want to see anything wrong about this Spurgeon and the rest of them. You're no different than idol worshippers. You must get away from it. We are all prone to idol worship. We must get away from this. Absolutely every one of us. Not one of us that is can say they haven't worshipped something or other. It's only when we sit up and accept ourselves and chastise ourselves and take ourselves in hand and say, hang on a minute, this has become a big idol. I want to get away from this. So easy. We're born idolaters. All men and women are on the same level as each and every one of us. Some call themselves lords. There's no such thing with Christians. Everybody's on the same level. Nobody lords it over us, and we don't lord it over anybody else. These beggars, Sage Spurgeons, they lord it over us. And they get these great big names. These rather, how would you say, great names. Okay, you know, the name of Spurgeon. Ooh, must be good. Ooh, I've heard him. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, he must be good. Ooh, everybody says he's good. Ooh, he must be good. Because he's not. Then you get D.L. Moody's and the Finneys. And, well, the rest of them, St. Schofields, John Nelson Darby's, Christmas Evanses. All the neo-evangelicals, they're promoted as being those, like Smith Wigglesworth, as comes to mind, and so on. Owen, ones who are blessed of God, and we're down here. We're down here, poor little children, you see, you know. Whilst these hypocrites, liars, cheats, deceivers are promoted as being, oh, really blessed of God, and you must be blessed of God. You must rise to this. No, we don't want to rise to this. All we want to do is pass through this world, recognised by none, but only recognised for the morals and the ethics to a world that does not want them. As for our persons, as we say, we don't want to know. We'd rather hide ourselves away. We don't want to be seen. All we want is truth and righteousness to be seen. Of course, the world will say to us, oh, well, you're jealous of the Spurgeons and you're trying to find fault and blah, blah, blah. Well, that's what you would say, because that is not of your nature. Okay? Well, you don't know us, and you don't want to know the truth, and you don't want to know a balance, and therefore you will say what you say. You've got a carnal mind. What we're interested in is speaking the truth to all men, giving a just balance, a reasonable account according to truth. And you don't want it, so it doesn't affect us. The truth shall continue on. And we'll continue to look at Spurgeon's sermons. And to date, we forget how many we've looked at, but each and every one of them is error from the beginning to the middle to the end. I'm going to leave it at that.